Citigroup.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Never stays out of the news.
Never stays out of the news. No. Like Icon, two investors, one a pension fund, another an asset management firm representing a religious entity,
Yes.
have called for a breakup of Citigroup, which would join forces, therefore, with a lot of economists and all sorts of other commentators who think this is the right way to go for the good of the country, really.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So this is kind of the furthest step we've seen, I think, about breaking up the too big to fail banks. If you remember a couple months ago, Sandy Weil, who formed Citigroup and the architect really of the supermarket bank.
His reincarnated self as a different human being.
Yeah. He apparently has been heard by the nuns. But as you said, this large pension fund for a union and this asset manager is working with the Sisters of St. Benedict.
St. Benedict,
Have called, what they're doing is they're putting up a proposal for a shareholder vote at the next city annual meeting that would force Citi to form a committee of independent board members to look at whether to split it up. They're not saying, hey, we want to vote on splitting off the commercial investment bank, but we want it.
And how does Corbett, the new CEO there, so this comparison to Icon, I mean, has he got a way to fight this? And presumably he doesn't want to break up the bank.
Yeah, certainly I think he's not looking to break up the bank yet. He has said he's going to look at everything when he came in. He hasn't said too much since then. But kind of the vote itself will be certainly a hard fight to win.
Right, just so there's the Citigroup one-year chart. That's of course been a dog for more than just this past year.
Right.
But you know, had a reasonably good third quarter, it seemed, and then of course we had this spectacular departure of Vikram Pandit. You know, one of the things I find interesting in this is that it somewhat vindicates the administration, the Obama administration's approach to the banks, whereas they were under a lot of pressure from certain people, at least to physically break up the banks and take a much more aggressive approach. They've kind of come back off and said, you know, what we're going to do is just make life difficult for these guys, and ultimately there'll be pressure from shareholders to do so.
Yeah.
You know, what is the feeling? Do they think ultimately this is where a Citi and a Chase and some of these other too big to fails are going to go eventually?
You know, I would say there's going to be a lot more discussion about it. I don't know that it's going to happen anytime soon. I think this step, certainly I think we have to, a lot of shareholder proposals are proposed every year for these bank meetings, and the vast majority of them are voted down by significant percentages.
Right.
You know, we get the odd, Citi last year was the victim of losing a say on pay vote, which was pretty surprising. That doesn't happen very often. So maybe there's some chance that the shareholders will say, hey, yeah, at least look at it. I think there's probably a very minimal chance that the independent board committee would come back and.
But I do think it's going to keep going, because until it turns real value back to the shareholders, these issues are going to keep coming.
It's getting louder, and they have arguments.